Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. How are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. For today, we are having a little bit of a monochromatic moment. Let me tell you, we got the blue eyes going, the blue shirt. I did it on purpose, obviously. or what? Or was it not obvious? I'm not sure. This look should be up on Instagram already. If you guys don't follow me there and you want to know the deets, it'll be over there. And I'll have, of course, everything that I'm wearing linked down below in the description box. For today's video, I wanted to share with you guys my makeup empties. These are pretty much all of the makeup items that I finished in a time span of 1 year. It wasn't like I purchased the item that year and finished it that year. It was more like I probably had it maybe in my collection for 2 or 3 years and I just completely finished it off this past year in 2020. So I wanted to share with you guys everything. I do have it in this peanut butter filled pretzels little jar that I've had also for like 2-3 years. It's been just like, you know, perfect. I don't consider myself a project panner. Well, I just like to use the products if I'm able to. If something's also getting old, I kind of like to get it out of my collection. And then also I do have a lot of favorites in here because these are items that you'll see that I repurchased because they were so good. So I have a lot of like duplicates in here. All right, let's get started. So first up, I have these two mists. So this one right here, honestly, I won't lie, I didn't even finish it off. It just literally flew on the floor and the whole bottom like completely opened, shattered in a way, and the whole thing was gone. And I remember I just bought it. I think I used it like 3 or 4 times. From those few times that I've used it, I really didn't enjoy it, but definitely money that went down the drain kind of thing because of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, but I like it. I would repurchase this. Next, I have the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I've been speaking about this for quite some time now. I received it back in the summertime and fully obsessed since then. The only thing I will say is that as I keep using it, I realize the nozzle sucks. So yeah, definitely like a downer with that, but the formula of this is so good. It makes your face look beautiful, dewy. It prolongs the wear of your makeup. I want to say it's great to use before makeup, after makeup, especially if you have dry skin. I think that you would really enjoy this. I actually think that they reformulated this because the nozzle sucked. So I do have the newer reformulated one, which I really do enjoy. So I do have a backup, but yeah, this is amazing. The Dewy Setting Mist by e.l.f. The Coconut Dewy Setting Mist is also good. I think the one that they reformulated. Okay, then I went ahead and finished up a bronzer. Look at me here, finishing up a bronzer. What is this even? So this is from Laura.y and it's in Bronze 03. This was such a pretty one. I remember I used to speak about this in favorites videos, like literally constantly. It definitely gave a really nice warm effect to the cheeks and it blended out really easily. I just loved how it made my face look. A lot of times I didn't even go in with contouring powder. I just went in with this and I just loved the effect it gave. Really easy to build up. You can go very light, you can go heavy-handed, but it still always looks very fresh and chiseled. Is it one that I would repurchase? Probably. I actually have it in a small baby size, so I do have one still like in my drawers. I have a ton of other bronzers to go through that I'm wanting to finish up, so I'll probably use those first and then maybe repurchase this down the road, but definitely one of my favorites. Really solid stuff. I also went ahead and finished off 3 powders, so 2 loose and 1 pressed. This right here is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. This is my second one that I finished off in my time span of living, and I will say it's also really good. Unfortunately, they did discontinue this. I don't know why brands do that. They release such good stuff sometimes and then out of nowhere, boom, nowhere to be found again. And it's sad and hurtful sometimes. It's kind of like you finally find something, you're like, okay, I can get down with this one, and then it's, you know, gone forever. This was just a nice go-to, very thin powder that I use to set my entire face. Even though I do have drier skin, I do tend to set my entire face with either loose or pressed powder. That's just, I don't know, I just like the way it makes my face look. And that's what I did mainly with this. And it didn't make your face look very dry or powdery. Sometimes with powders I have that. This was legit perfect for me, but it's gone, so I must find a new bestie. Then I have these 2 loose powders. So this right here is from Tarte. This is the Shape Tape Setting Powder. I love this, love. It does have a little net to it. The way I like to use it is I just like dumped a little bit in the lid and then used my beauty blender or brush to kind of bake my face. So yeah, I use this mainly to bake my face. Usually I'll do that here for my contour lines, a little bit on my nose, under my eyes. Sometimes I would set my whole face with this, but not necessarily. It doesn't leave a white cast, which is amazing because it has more of like an off-white color. It kind of feel like works better with the skin, and it's not like stark white. I find that stark white loose powders 9 out of 10 times do leave a little bit of a white cast, and it looks kind of obvious, you know? This kind of just blends in, and I feel like it would be pretty universally flattering. I also have the Laura loose translucent powder. I feel like this used to be everything, but I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it anymore. It is definitely a classic. I think this is the second one I finished in my lifetime. I kind of like broke it open here because it was kind of annoying to get the product out once it was like finishing up, but also a really nice good go-to setting powder that just chisels at your face the way you want it to. It also has more of like an off-white color, so I feel like it could work out for a ton of different skin tones. They do also have a deeper one if you do have a deeper skin tone, which I think is great, but one of my favorites for sure. I've repurchased a few times. I have small ones of these in my drawers, and I just feel like it'll just be one that'll always be in my collection, you know? So really nice if you want like a baking powder or a powder to set your entire face with. Both of these I would say are really good also for diminishing the appearance of pores. Okay, I finished off another mist. This right here is the All Nighter by Urban Decay. This is my ultimate favorite best setting spray ever in this entire world. This is so good. It just sets everything in place beautifully. It makes your makeup last. Like when I tell you last, it lasts for days kind of thing. I always say this story, but there were times that I put makeup on like at night, put this on, slept with my makeup because sometimes that happens. I'm just too lazy. I try not to do it as much now, but yeah, so I did that, and then the next day it was kind of like people would be like, your makeup looks great. I'm like, let me tell you, slept with it. It's the All Nighter by Urban Decay. Another loose powder that I finished off. I should have organized better. This right here is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Butter Pro Filter Mini Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Yeah, this is the mini one, I want to say. It's not the full size. This was nice. I did like it. For this one, there are a few shades to choose from, and usually like when it's like that, it's very hard for me to choose what shade I would be because sometimes I'll self-tan, sometimes I won't, and even so, like usually I'll go with translucent because it's just the easiest, and I feel like it's pretty universally flattering. The shade Butter, I would say, was a little bit too light at times. I felt like it left a little bit of a white cast here and like under my eyes if I really didn't kind of like work it into the skin. So I probably would choose a deeper shade. I did like the formula. It did look pretty nice on the skin. I felt like it kind of gave me that like filter-ish effect, but I would probably just choose a deeper color. But yeah, other than that, really good too. For mascaras, I finished off 3. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have more in my drawers that, you know, got to go, but this is what I have here for now. I'll probably go through those when I do my like other declutter videos. But I have the HD Volumizing Mascara here by Ofra. One of my favorites. It has a rubber bristled wand. Typically I'm not into that, but this really makes your lashes look intense in a really nice way. It builds up really nicely too. I would say overall it gives you a crazy amount of length. Not that much volume, but a crazy amount of length, and overall it looks really, really good. So I like that. I do have a backup of that already. I also have the Pretty Vulgar mascara here, which has been one of my favorites for 2020 for sure. The wand is just like the Better Than mascara by Too Faced, but I would say a drop thinner. And just, it works out even better actually because it's easier to coat your lashes, and I also feel like it gives kind of more of like a voluminous full lash effect. I purchased this from TJ Maxx. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I feel like I'm talking so much right now. I purchased this from TJ Maxx for $10, but typically it's around $20. Yeah, one of my favorite purchases from there for sure. I don't know if they're discontinuing that or what, but loved it. And then I have the Essence The False Lashes Mascara. This is one of my favorites from Essence. Essence makes amazing mascaras. This is legit only $5 at Ulta. Run. I do love the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. That's my ultimate favorite from them, but this is a really, really close second. The wand is pretty similar to the Lash Princess, but has a slight like curve to it. And it's also just, it makes your lashes look amazing. For $5, really you can't go wrong. I don't find that it flakes. I don't find that it's annoying. I don't find that it irritates my eyes. And it's a good one. Solid stuff. Then I finished off the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Primer Glow Oil. Typically, before I put on foundation, I usually go in with the primer, or most of the time I'll go in with the oil. Sometimes I'll go in with both. I do have drier skin, so I like that extra hydrating feel. This was really nice. I think it was around $12 on Ulta's not Ulta. Elf's website, although I think they sell it on Ulta's website too, and it just sunk into the skin beautifully. I also put it on my lips when I like primed my face. I felt like the foundations that I applied on top of it just applied even more nicer, and I felt like I was glowing more type of thing, you know? So really, really nice. Definitely one of my favorite oils that I've tried thus far. And even though it's an oil, it doesn't feel like oily kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like if you would put like avocado oil on your face, it would feel like, okay, oil. But this just had like a really cool like feel to it, where it was like it's an oil, but there was just something extra to it. It felt great on the skin, I have to say. 10 out of 10. I finished off one lip balm, but I'm working through a bunch, so hopefully for next year we'll have a ton. But this is the Smith's Rosebud Salve Lip Balm. So good, so good. I got this for my sister as well, and she's hooked. This is just a good classic. I know it's probably their #1 bestseller. It's sold on Ulta's website. It has more of like a maybe like jelly-ish consistency to it, but it's super hydrating. You don't need way too much, and I don't find that with this one you need to go in like every 3 minutes, because sometimes with like lip balms, I find that you put it on and like 20 minutes later you're like, oh my gosh, my lips need more balm like right now. With this, I felt like you put it on once and then literally like only hours after you're like, okay, I could use a little bit more now, you know? Very hydrating, very moisturizing, sinks deep into the lips and makes your lips look 10 out of 10. Love this. I have to repurchase. I really love that one. I also finished off 4 of the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive Lash Glues. So here are what these guys look like. This is my favorite lash glue ever. I've tried so many. The other ones that I've tried absolutely suck, I would say, but these are so good. I've recommended them to tons of people. Even you guys said that you purchased it based on my recommendation. You're like, Liora, and I'm like, I'm telling you, with lash glue, I play no games, you know? I have no time or patience for like one that's gonna be like gross and like too sticky, where it's like irritates my eyes kind of thing, or it doesn't even stick and it's sticky. It's like, are you a glue? This is the best. It has a brush applicator to it. You just swipe it on your lash, wait a few seconds, pop it on, and then when you're ready to take off your lash, it's easy to take off. I don't find that it leaves any like tackiness on your actual eye unless you go very heavy-handed with this glue, but even so, it washes off pretty easily. So love this. Repurchase. I always have this in my collection, like always the best. Next up, I only finished off 2 concealers for this year. I actually have a bunch of other ones that are on their last leg, but they're not necessarily finished. I also have that with foundations. I didn't finish any foundations this year, which is pretty shocking, but then also I didn't really go anywhere this year, so maybe that kind of makes sense. But for next year, I'll probably have much more, only because so many of them are on their last leg. But yeah, these are the 2 concealers that I finished off this year. I finished off the Pretty Vulgar concealer. I loved that one. And then the All Hours Concealer Hair by YSL. Yeah, so I would say from both, I really enjoyed the Pretty Vulgar one more. I think we got this in BoxyCharm or something, and initially I was like, oh my gosh, it's a little bit too dark, but it actually worked out really well, and it was just really nice and hydrating for the under eye area. It also blended out really easily. It gave pretty much light to almost medium coverage. It definitely wasn't a full coverage concealer, but I found that I use this a lot on those natural days where I wasn't going for that full-fledged look, and this was perfection. I legit even took out like the stopper because I loved this. I love it. It's yum. It's so good. It's really good. I have to repurchase that one. The All Hours Concealer by YSL is one that I had in my collection for a bit, and I finished it off earlier in the year last year, so I don't really remember if it was like, it was pretty good. I think it was really nice. It gave me medium coverage. I don't know if it's one that I would necessarily run out to repurchase. I have a bunch of other concealers that I do enjoy, but it was nice at the time. And I mean, YSL, I lived that bougie life for a minute there, and now I'm like, you know, I'll take the e.l.f. for now. I finished off a bunch of brow products. So I have this ABH tinted brow gel. Really nice to use on those more natural days, or nice to use if you're going to fill in your brows with a brow pencil and you want to set everything in and add a little bit more color. This was really good. e.l.f. makes a really good one. Benefit makes a really good one. And there are other solid brands that make great ones too. Is this one that you need ASAP in your life? Probably not necessarily. Probably not. Meaning like it's good, and if you want to invest, I think it's a great one, but I think that the drugstore's brand have really solid ones. So I don't know if that's necessarily one that's, you know, that I would personally buy again, unless it's maybe in a kit or something. But I do like it. Then I finished off a ton of brow pencils. Yeah, just this crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10's a charm. So most of these are basically the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil or the ABH Brow Wiz. The CoverGirl one is in dark brown or rich brown, and the ABH one is in medium brown. Those two are my favorite brow pencils ever, as you guys can see. The ABH one is one that I think I got a lot like in kits, or if it was on sale I purchased it, but I mean, yeah, most of the time I'll just purchase the CoverGirl because I find them to be like pretty similar. The CoverGirl maybe is a little bit more pigmented and you need to be a drop more careful, but I really love both, and CoverGirl one is much more affordable. So yeah, excited about these, and I of course have backups of these in my collection. So good. All right, so that is pretty much it. Those are pretty much all of the makeup goodies that I finished off in 2020. I wouldn't say it's a ton, it's not that little either. I'm pretty happy with the items that I finished, I guess. Let me know what products you guys finished off in the year of 2020. I would absolutely love to know. I think it's cool to see, you know? And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your comments down below. Bye.